Welcome back to Mindful Stoicism. Have you ever stopped to wonder why people seem to appreciate something only after it's gone? Think about it. When you're always there, giving your time, your energy, and your presence, it's as if people assume you'll always stay. They take your value for granted, perhaps unknowingly, because familiarity often blinds them to what they truly have. But the moment you pull away, the air shifts. Your absence isn't just a gap, it's a glaring void that forces them to confront the reality of what they've lost. Suddenly they realize that your presence wasn't something to be taken lightly. It was a gift. And now that it's gone, they can't ignore its impact. Here's the fascinating truth. Your absence wields a power that your presence never could. It speaks volumes without uttering a single word. When you choose to step away to ghost someone, it's not about being petty or seeking revenge. It's about reclaiming your peace, protecting your energy, and delivering a lesson that no argument, explanation, or justification could ever convey. In this video, we'll uncover why your absence becomes the ultimate form of punishment for those who failed to value you, and how this approach is deeply rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Silence and distance. These aren't just strategies, they're tools of profound strength and clarity. So, stay with me until the end. Together, we'll explore how walking away can be your most powerful move, and how it sets the stage for you to live with dignity, self-respect, and unshakable peace. Let's dive in on the power of absence. In a world where constant communication is the norm, choosing to withdraw is an act of both defiance and wisdom. Absence has a unique power, one that can't be overstated. It disrupts the ordinary, breaks patterns, and forces people to confront a reality they might otherwise ignore. While your presence is comforting and familiar, your absence is striking and undeniable. When you remove yourself from someone's life, you create a vacuum. This space is powerful because it compels them to face the void left behind. No longer surrounded by your energy, attention, and care, they're forced to acknowledge how much you actually contributed to their world. What once seemed ordinary now feels irreplaceable. It's human nature to overlook what's readily available and only recognize its value when it's gone. Absence introduces scarcity, and scarcity breeds value. It makes others realize what they've lost and forces them to confront their own behavior. Were they dismissive? Did they take you for granted? Your absence becomes a mirror, reflecting their actions and the consequences of those actions. Unlike words, which can be debated or dismissed, silence leaves no room for argument. It's a statement that can't be ignored. But the power of absence isn't just about the effect it has on others. It's also about what it does for you. By stepping away, you reclaim your energy and refocus on what truly matters, your peace, growth, and well-being. It's an act of self-respect, a way to preserve your dignity when others fail to appreciate it. Absence is not about manipulation or games. It's about clarity and boundaries. It's about showing others and yourself that your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. And in that realization lies the ultimate strength. The psychological effect of ghosting. Ghosting someone triggers a profound psychological chain reaction. At first there's confusion. The person left behind feels blindsided, struggling to understand why you've suddenly withdrawn. This confusion arises because as humans we are wired to seek closure. When someone suddenly vanishes from our lives, our minds work overtime, replaying every interaction, every conversation, and every moment to find answers. It's unsettling, and it creates a sense of instability in their emotional world. Then comes regret. As they reflect on the past, they begin to question their own actions. Did I say something wrong? Was I too distant? Did I not appreciate them enough? This self-reflection, often paired with regret, leads them to realize the value of what they've lost. In your absence, they are left to fill the void with their own thoughts and memories of you. And because they can no longer access you, these memories are often romanticized. They forget your flaws and focus solely on what made you special. This process is not manipulation, it's natural psychology. Humans often don't recognize the value of something until it's gone. Your absence amplifies your worth in their eyes because it creates scarcity, and scarcity drives desire. Finally, realization sets in. They understand that they took you for granted, and now they face the consequences of their own actions. The absence forces them to acknowledge what they failed to see when you were present. For you, ghosting isn't about punishing them, it's about reclaiming your peace. It removes you from a situation where your worth was overlooked and places the responsibility of reflection squarely on them. Your silence becomes louder than any words, and your absence becomes their punishment, not as a weapon, but as a lesson they needed to learn. 3. Stoic wisdom on detachment. The philosophy of Stoicism teaches us one of life's most empowering truths. That true strength lies not in controlling others, but in mastering oneself. Detachment, a core principle of Stoicism, is often misunderstood. Many think detachment means cold indifference or apathy, but the Stoics saw it as a profound form of freedom, a way to engage with the world without becoming enslaved by it. Marcus Aurelius, one of Stoicism's greatest thinkers, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom reminds us that we cannot control how others act, what they think, or how they feel about us. What we can control, however, is our response to their behavior and our decision to let go when their presence in our life disrupts our peace. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. It's the ability to step back and evaluate relationships, situations, and emotions without being consumed by them. When someone disrespects you, undervalues your worth, or takes you for granted, Stoic detachment empowers you to walk away without guilt or bitterness. It's not about punishing them, it's about protecting yourself. In practice, detachment allows you to choose peace over chaos and dignity over drama. By ghosting someone, you're not acting out of spite, but embodying the Stoic principle of prioritizing inner calm over external noise. It's a way of saying, I value myself enough to remove myself from what no longer serves me. This approach reflects the Stoic ideal of self-respect. It's a reminder that your worth isn't dependent on others' recognition, but on your unwavering sense of self. In stepping away, you demonstrate strength, discipline, and a commitment to your own well-being, a truly Stoic way of living. 4. When to use ghosting as a tool. Ghosting is not a decision to be made lightly, nor is it a game to manipulate others. It's a powerful tool that, when used thoughtfully, can protect your peace, preserve your energy, and reinforce your boundaries. But the key lies in knowing when it's appropriate to use it. Ghosting isn't about avoiding conflict or being petty. It's about making a conscious choice to prioritize your well-being in situations that no longer serve you. One of the most critical moments to consider ghosting is when someone repeatedly disrespects your boundaries. Perhaps you've communicated your needs clearly, but they continue to ignore them, dismiss your feelings, or act in ways that deplete you emotionally. In these cases, staying engaged only drains your energy further, and stepping away becomes a necessary act of self-preservation. Ghosting may also be appropriate when someone consistently takes you for granted. When your efforts, time, and attention are met with indifference or entitlement, continuing to give without reciprocation devalues your worth. By choosing to walk away, you send a powerful message. You will not stay in a dynamic where your value is unappreciated. Another scenario is when the relationship or interaction becomes toxic. Whether it's manipulative behavior, constant negativity, or emotional harm, staying in such an environment only erodes your mental and emotional health. Ghosting in this case is not about punishing the other person. It's about breaking free from an unhealthy cycle and protecting your inner peace. Lastly, ghosting can be a necessary tool when you find yourself in a one-sided relationship. If you're the only one putting in effort, it's not a partnership. It's an imbalance. Walking away reclaims your power and opens the door for healthier, more balanced connections. When used wisely, ghosting becomes less about them and more about you, a choice to respect yourself enough to walk away from what no longer aligns with your growth and peace. 5. The transformation that follows. When you ghost someone, the transformation that unfolds is not one-sided. It's a profound shift that occurs both in the person you leave behind and, more importantly, within yourself. At first glance, it may seem like ghosting is simply a reaction to their behavior, a way to protect yourself from disrespect, neglect, or emotional turmoil. But in reality, it's a catalyst for growth and realization on multiple levels. For the person you ghosted, your absence becomes a mirror. Suddenly, they are forced to sit with their thoughts, their regrets, and their actions. Without the comfort of your presence to validate them, they begin to feel the weight of their choices. They start to replay past moments, analyzing what went wrong and why you chose to leave. It's in this reflective silence that they often realize what they took for granted. The void you leave behind becomes a powerful teacher, highlighting the value of your presence in ways your words never could. But the most important transformation happens within you. By choosing to walk away, you reclaim your energy, your focus, and your self-worth. It's a liberating act of detachment that signals to yourself that you no longer need external validation. You're no longer chained to the need for someone else's approval or attention. Instead, you prioritize your peace and your growth. Over time, this choice strengthens you. It reinforces the idea that your value doesn't depend on how others perceive you, but on how you perceive yourself. As they linger in the past, consumed by what they lost, you move forward, calm, composed, and empowered. Ghosting isn't about revenge, it's about self-respect. It's a reminder to the world that your energy is not to be wasted on those who don't appreciate it. When you step away, you're not just leaving them behind, you're stepping into a more powerful version of yourself. So the next time someone undervalues you, remember this: your silence can say more than your words ever could, and your absence can teach lessons your presence never will. If you found this message empowering, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join our growing Mindful Stoicism community. Your journey to strength and self-mastery begins now.